And I think we're ready to get started now. Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's presentation of Caffy, a wonderful, amazing new functional coffee drink that Smari, founder and our CEO, is going to present to you today. Just want to give you a couple of quick tips real quick. Presentation's only going to last about 10 to 12 minutes maximum, and then we're going to take Q&A after this. So we'll turn on your mics. If you want to verbally say that, that is fine as well. Right now, you're all muted. But also, we do have a chat window and we have a Q&A. We're going to be monitoring both the Q&A and the chat window. And we've got some nice things right at the end of the presentation as well. So make sure you hang on till the end here. With that, we're going to hand it over to Smari in a great presentation.
Thanks, Ken. Hi, everybody. I'm Smari, and I'm the founder and CEO of Smarter Organics and the creator of Caffy. So I'm thrilled that you decided to join me, and I'm excited to tell you more about our company, about Caffy, about our fundraising on WeFunder, and about our potential journey together. So I'll keep this brief, and then I'll open it up for questions. Now, you may think this call is about investment, but in reality, it's about bravery. It takes bravery to start a company like ours, to launch a product like Caffy, and it takes bravery for you to invest in our future. I moved to the US from Iceland when I was 20 by myself with all my belongings in 2 suitcases. My first stop was in Santa Barbara where I went to college, and I graduated with a BA in photography. I then became a very successful advertising photographer. You may even have seen my photos. They were in publications such as Vogue, Rolling Stone, People magazine, even billboards nationwide. Fast forward about 20 years or so, and I woke up one day realizing I had become more passionate about food and photography. So I decided to give it a go, make a complete change to my life, and launched a consumer packaged goods company. And as I look back, I see that I'm here today with you because of a million brave steps I took. Some are very small, some felt overwhelmingly big in the moment, but yet I took them all, and I'm happy to be with you here today. So we are here to solve a problem. The problem that I identified is that we all need more energy. But the solutions that are out there taste terrible, to put it bluntly. Also, just as bad, what's in energy drinks in the marketplace is just not good for your body. And I set out to change that. Because quite frankly, you can't be brave without energy. And this is us. These are the brave folks that work on making Caffy a success every day. They're a company on a mission, and our mission is pretty simple. We want to restore bravery with functional energy drinks disguised as delicious coffee, and we're here to conquer our category just as Vikings do. This is Caffy. This is the brave Icelandic coffee. You probably all know that Red Bull gives you wings. Caffy restores bravery. This is what everybody needs right now. It's the best tasting functional drink on the market by far. We have 3 SKUs. The first one on the left is our Keto Latte. This is kind of the most hardcore coffee flavor. We sweeten it with just a touch of monk fruit, but otherwise this is just like a latte you would get at your favorite coffee shop. It has only 1 gram of sugar, 2 grams net carbs, both are incredibly low numbers, 10 grams of protein, and 150 milligrams of caffeine, which is just a touch less than 2 cups of coffee. Then the middle one is a New Orleans coffee. New Orleans is slightly sweetened and flavored with chicory root. And then finally on the right is my favorite, iced mocha. There's an amazing chocolate flavor. Both the iced mocha and the New Orleans coffee are sweetened with cane sugar, but still only have 8 grams of sugar, 10 grams of protein like the Keto Latte, and caffeine is slightly lower at 125 milligrams. So my solution was to design an energy drink that tastes amazing, that consists of simple ingredients, and gives you sustained energy while also feeding your mind and your body in a positive way. And Caffy's energy system was designed in such a way that you get an immediate kick from the caffeine, but then the protein sustains you longer and prevents any kind of jitters as the caffeine wears off. The net result is that we enable you to be the bravest version of yourself. If you look at us against the competition, you see that we tick all the boxes. We're at the right price, our calories are lower, sugar is as low as can be, and the caffeine is perfect for the immediate boost. People will only sacrifice for so long, and they will always revert back to something that tastes good or that they feel good about putting into their body. Caffy has a taste profile that consumers know and love. It tastes just as good, if not better, than the coffee you get at your favorite coffee shop. I feel really good about putting Caffy up against any of the competition in a blind taste test. Our performance stacks better than the competition too, and we were able to create a functional drink that happens to taste amazing in a habitualized format, which coffee certainly is. This is Joe and Lizzie, and they are our target customers. Joe is 22, does not necessarily lead a very healthy lifestyle. He drinks coffee for the immediate energy boost, and also so that he's able to skip a meal or two. Lizzie is really focused on her health, much more than Joe. She appreciates that she's not sacrificing her health for energy, as both are very important to her. We see ourselves appealing to a pretty large segment of the younger demographics. We're in the crosshairs of a couple of fast-growing categories, mainly ready-to-drink coffee and functional drink. 72% of Americans drink coffee, and 43% of them drink it daily. More than half of millennials drink cold coffee. The ready-to-drink coffee category has been growing at a CAGR of more than 18% since 2016, and it shows no signs of slowing down. The functional drink category has been showing significant growth as well. In terms of our growth drivers, we've been focusing mostly on the natural channels to date. With the latest environmental changes, we put increased focus on e-commerce and Amazon, both of which can be a challenge for a refrigerated product. We were able to identify a path for shipping coffee at a sustainable cost, and I'm incredibly excited to be launching on Amazon in the middle of summer, probably June, July, and direct e-commerce on our website later in the year. I think that will have the ability to catapult our sales this year. We have a clear path to improving margins, not only with scale, but also as we continue to design the product more efficiently. So we launched coffee in the middle of 2019. Retailers very quickly started recognizing how innovative coffee is, and both Sprouts and Kroger invited us to participate in their innovation programs. We've gained quite a bit of distribution in just a few months and are currently in about 400 stores. In terms of our overall numbers, we finished last year just shy of 400,000. We expect to roughly double that this year, and we feel that with our imminent direct-to-consumer and Amazon launch, we can achieve these numbers in spite of what's happening at retail right now. We think we'll turn a profit in 2023. So our aim is to be capital efficient with a more curated approach, as well as leveraging direct-to-consumer as much as possible. We're fundraising via WeFunder.com. WeFunder is a crowdfunding platform that enables everyone to invest. Minimum investment starts at only $250. I'm very excited about the opportunity that this essentially democratizes fundraising. We're currently raising a $1.5 million note. The terms are $4.5 million cap, 20% discount, but there's an early bird friends and family incentive with a $4 million cap and a 30% discount for the first $250,000 to come in. And the note carries a 5% interest. We think we'll need to raise a price round in the next probably 12 months or so. Funds will be used for building brand awareness, shopper activation, working capital, as well as for building out the team. So we make a product that's incredibly delicious and is built around a smart energy system that we can easily apply to plant-based drinks. The category is on fire. I'm a seasoned, passionate entrepreneur. I've done this before, and I know what it takes to grow the company. Retailers are very interested, and we have a brand that's perfect for social and e-commerce. Our bottles are very cool looking. The branding is spot on, is very unique. The kind of the restores bravery and leaning into our bravery. This segment is quite frankly one of the best in terms of multiplies and exits. That's it. Thanks so much for sticking with me all the way to the end. And I'd like to open it up for questions right now. So I will give everybody an opportunity to unmute yourselves and feel free either to speak your questions or type them in the Q&A.
Great. And Mario, while people are getting ready to do that, we did have a question here in the Q&A window, which do you plan to release an organic line of coffee?
We know we don't have any plans currently. If we're able to do it and maintain our margins and maintain sales, then we would. Organic is incredibly difficult because people just aren't willing to pay the price increase with organic. You know, people they say they want it, but when it's a product that ends up being more expensive than the competition, they go towards the conventional product. So we're focusing on clean ingredients, on clean labels, and on a price point that is approachable for everybody.
Got it. Great question there as well. And another follow-up question is do you plan to release any plant-based? As we understand now, you're dairy-based, correct?
Yes, this is dairy-based. We will start working on a plant-based version probably within the next 12 months or so. And the way we design the product and the line, it should be fairly easy for us to convert that to plant-based. And so we'll have both a dairy-based and a plant-based SKUs.
Great, terrific. Anybody on the line wants to either verbally ask a question, you're more than welcome to do so, and or type it in the Q&A window. We have a couple more questions, email questions that are in, but yeah, James.
Yes, I'm curious about the distribution partners that you might have in place. You talked about Kroger. Are you selling them direct or through a beverage distributor that's got a great presence in the market?
So we're not in Kroger. We were invited to their innovation summit. They've not brought us on board yet. We distribute through KeHE and UNFI, and so those are our distribution partners towards retail.
Great, as well. And Smarty, I think you mentioned, but some folks that we are in. Do you want to rattle off a couple of those names? Because we're in over 400 stores, so got a good start.
So it's mostly kind of a natural channel. We have more of a presence on the West Coast, kind of out towards Denver, around Colorado, and then there's a pocket in New England. The New England Big Y is our biggest chain with about 50 stores. We're in Natural Grocers, so we're in NCGV. We are in Bristol Farms, down in SoCal. Up here, Molly Stone is a great one in Northern California where we're at. New Leaf and New Seasons up to the Pacific Northwest, and then kind of stores like that, the smaller chains and the independent retailers.
Got it. Great. Yeah. And we had a question from Terry, and she says she's a novice investor, and can you explain the details of how Investor makes money? And I'll just mention that we are working through the WeFunder platform. If you're not familiar with it, it's kind of like Kickstarter in the same philosophy, but it's actually for equity. And so you actually do own a chunk, depending on how much you invest in the company. And they have been wildly successful with this model. And it's actually targeted at more folks like Terry, like you. It's targeted at the smaller investor. While there are bigger investors that come in with checks of 20, 30, 40, 50,000, their average investment is $1,000 across the entire platform. And we already have investment coming in. We've been private for a couple of weeks. We're going to go live and open it up to the public. So we're still in kind of that stealth mode right now, just for maybe another week or so as we build up our friends and family network and having them invest, giving them a chance to invest a little bit earlier than the public. And that's what we're in the mode now to do. But Smart, do you want to answer the question? Just how can you explain in detail how an investor makes money? What are you going to do to make Terry some money?
Yeah, right, exactly. Yeah, so basically, Terry, you would be buying, a portion of the company, and then you would become, one of the owners in the company. This is brand new that everybody can invest in private companies. Prior to the regulation change, you had to be what's called an accredited investor, and I believe you had to have, an income over $250,000 and assets over $1 million, excluding your primary residence. Now it's open up to everybody, and as of right now, I don't think there's a secondary market for selling shares in private companies. So essentially, once the company is bought or somebody comes in and wants to buy a majority of the company, that's when the investors would make their money back.
Hopefully that answers your question as well. We hope so. And we'd love to have you invest as well. Also, and Smari may have mentioned, Smari, did you mention the perks? I'm sorry, I might have missed that. We just redid our perks. So everybody that invests gets a different level. So depending on which level you invest in, you get some free coffee, you get discounts for coffee for a certain number of orders on Amazon. So just wanted to make mention of that. Smari, if you wanted to say anything about that, but we just posted those just recently.
Yeah, so we have kind of perks at different levels. I think they start at $500 and go up to $50,000, and the perks are cumulative. So meaning if you invest at $2,500, you will get all the perks for the lesser investments as well. So it definitely does add up, and we try to make it something that would be exciting for to folks that invest.
You're going to get an awful lot of coffee. It's delicious,
Yes.
by the way. It's like the best. It is literally the best tasting cold brew coffee or coffee drink ever, I think. Anyway, it's delicious. Any other questions from our audience here? Oh, we have another one from Terry. What if a big company doesn't buy your company and you remain independent? Great question as well. Smarty, do you want to take that, or do you want me to take that?
I think, yeah, maybe we can take that together. But
Okay.
there are different paths. Kind of what I'm thinking of now is if a company remains independent, I think often the company ends up, buying other investors out. There's also a potential for, I think it will consolidate sometimes. So there isn't a single answer, but the goal is that the company does get, sold. That's what we're all working towards. That build up a value in the company, companies such as ours, and there are a million ways to do this. But generally, the company will reach a scale where it becomes hard with our resources to grow it, beyond that. And maybe that's $50 million per year, maybe it's 100, maybe it's less. And it makes sense for a larger company to come in and buy it. So that's the path that we're taking, and that's kind of what we're aiming for.
And yeah, absolutely. And a company with a profile like this, they typically get bought. That's just how generally this industry works. The consumer product's good. And once you get big enough, there is somebody else out there that wants to buy you. It's you either get bought or it's some do stay independent, but it's actually relatively difficult. But I do want to also follow up, Terry. Great question. You're also what you're actually investing in is what's called a convertible note, and that means it converts to equity. But if for some reason we stay independent and it doesn't convert to equity, then it stands as a loan essentially to the company, and the company has an obligation to pay it back with interest. And that's all part of what they call this thing called a convertible note. It's a very normal investment tool that almost every startup uses. And that actually is the technical thing that you're investing in. And what happens is automatically you actually convert into an equity holder on our next round of funding as well. So that is how the convertible note works. So if for some reason it doesn't convert, the company would be obligated to pay back the convertible note at some point in the future. And usually I think it's 3 years or something in the future. But the objective is to get it to convert into equity. And so that's the technical mechanism. Sorry to give you that level of detail, but hopefully that makes sense as well. Good. You're welcome. You're welcome. And any other questions out there as well? Anything that is on your mind? We really encourage you to go to our WeFunder page, wefunder.com/Kathy, and check out our profile and all the great information there as well. We'd love to have you invest. Even $250, $500, $1,000 makes a huge difference, especially right now as we get our campaign going. So, kind of being part of our network at the very beginning of of this round of investment would be amazing to us. And it helps us exponentially. So if you have a love for entrepreneurs, this is actually a great way to invest in an entrepreneur. Smart, you want to go ahead and wrap it up with any additional comments?
I think, yeah, this is fantastic. Any questions, shoot me an email, smarty@smartorganics.com. Happy to answer anything. If there's something we didn't address, we'd love to. Thanks to everybody for joining us. Remember to be brave. And my final ask is, please consider going to WeFunder right now and making an investment. And together we'll take the next million brave steps needed. Thanks so much, everybody. Have a great day.